Brought to you by yournewdoor.com. Alright, so got the hardware unboxed. Got this nice big handle here. This is a Emtek set. One thing I'll go over again, like yesterday, is I always read the instructions. This one is a pretty simple set of hardware, so there's not really any in-depth instructions on it. But I always check this just to make sure there's not any little minor details that you need to follow, because it can mess up the hardware, make it bind and whatnot, and you don't want that. So I always just skim through it just to make sure. And then the next step I have is these are square latches and deadbolts, little plates, and these are rounded on the door. So what I just like to do is I just take a really sharp knife and I kind of just cut it straight down and then straight to the side. It's not just a little bit harder, especially on the hardwood, but kind of works. And then you kind of just cut this back right here, and it should kind of just pop out of there, just like that. Alright, and then go to the next corner. You cut that back corner again, and it just kind of slides out of there. Sometimes you gotta cut it a couple times, so make sure you get it all, but it's not too bad. Alright, so I got the square plates already carved out, and I also went ahead and used a little 1/8 drill bit and pre-drilled the holes. That way the wood doesn't split or these screws won't break off in there. So go ahead and screw them all in. Here's Brian, sparkling water enthusiast.
Looking at myself on camera too, and I'm like, shit, bro. Funny, dude. Bro, you got your shit. I gotta show you something crazy.
Those are all screwed in. Trying to clean some of this sawdust off so it doesn't get clogged up in there. Alright. And then next step is to drill this hole through the door. One thing I like to do is I kind of line it up in here, and then I make sure that it's just straight all the way down the door, and then just kind of press that little spot right into the door. Gives you a little idea of where it's at. And then grab your tape measure and a pencil. Let me go grab that real quick. That's the red that I was saying. I use it real. I like to go from the back side, just because I don't know if I 1 second. Show it 33.5 on that side. Double check. That's a lot. like 33 and 5/16.
Like I was going out to California and staying on the Greats, and she was taking me to the Vienna, and I was going hard.
And I go from here because this side of the door is beveled, so you never want to measure from this side. Because if you go 2 and 3/8, which is standard back set, if you go 2 and 3/8 from this side, you're gonna be further over than 2 and 3/8. So you always want to go from here. And as you can see before I line it up, 33 and 5/16 is almost right in the middle of that hole.
You gotta get over it.
I'm just gonna
She saved me.
make a little pencil mark, kind of where it's at. And then I'll take my 1/8 bit and
We got married in 20.
line it up right there in the middle of the hole
At my parents' house.
and right on the mark. And then just make sure you're straight. And you just go straight through the door with the 1/8 because it's not going to cause a big problem on the other side. And then you switch out to 1/8 for your 3/8. And just line it up. You kind of pulse the trigger a little bit. So you kind of get the hole started. You don't want to push it too hard to start with, or else you will kind of mess up the face of the door. I just go halfway, and then I switch to the other side. Can do the same pull thing. Okay. See how that kind of ate it up that time? It's alright. All the way to the door. Alright, and then now to connect this through the door, it has this little circle, almost like a little spacer piece for your screw. And should just be one of these gold screws. That functions a lot better. And you can always kind of see where in your hole for your deadbolt, you can kind of see where it is. It gives you a good idea where to line up your strike plate. Here's Mr. Brian. I don't need this one. Yep. Go ahead and free drill again. We can check that. Nice and easy. Now our hardware is fully installed. One thing left is I'm just going to change out these two screws for long screws. That way they go all the way into the stud. It gives a little extra security for, you know, like somebody trying to break in or whatever. So. You see that screw going all the way into the stud of the house. It's a lot more structural integrity. Just like that. It's nice Emtek hardware. It's fully installed. Show you place you're done.